Alright, so in my last video on Three Hearts Church, I kinda messed up, didn't quite catch where Pastor Cherie flipped over to talking about Facebook, and I thought she was still talking about YouTube. I could have redone that, but I just thought it was funny, and it shows you just like how easy it is to mess up a response video. So I thought it was funny and I kept it in. But in today's video, before she actually gets to her point about how coronavirus is all a conspiracy, she's going to continue bitching about censorship, and she's definitely talking about YouTube again. So this is going to be fun. What is up, you heathens and demons, you sinners and saints, you beautiful, blasphemous people? Welcome back to The Rage. Welcome back to the Raging Atheist on The Rage. I'm your boy Nakasuchi. Today, we're gonna have some fun. First, gotta send that shout out to my patrons. You guys are the shit. If you'd like to become a patron for just $1 a month, you can give more if you would like to. And we're really gonna try to fix those benefits for higher tier patrons. But if you'd like to become a patron for just $1 a month, see every video I put on YouTube before it actually goes on YouTube, link is in the description below. Alright, so all of my mess ups aside in the last video, Pastor Cherie's really upset that her social media platform isn't allowing her to give misinformation like they used to. Now, this is actually a serious discussion. I'm going to have fun with Pastor Cherie, but at the same time, this is a serious discussion about free speech and about, how it should be easier than it is to defeat misinformation. Unfortunately, I think misinformation is winning, and it's really hard to defeat it. So maybe censorship might be the way to defeat it. I'm not sure. But I think I'm going to start having that conversation, and we're going to start it with a conspiracy theorist who, by all definitions, puts out a lot of misinformation, a lot of blatant mistruths. And should she be censored? She doesn't think so. Let's get into it.
Now, you see on screen, this is the little disclaimer that YouTube put up to let everyone know if they take one of your videos down. Oh, well, they said important. Due to COVID-19, we will conduct fewer human reviews to protect the health of our extended workforce. Unfortunately, as a result, we may remove content that does not violate our community guidelines. That's their little way of letting you know if we remove something, oh, well. So that's censorship when they do those things anyway, right? We've had several videos of ours removed. So talking about the censorship and what goes on YouTube, Facebook, social media, online, it's all ran by the government.
All right, so I guess the question is censorship that? Is censorship being censored when you're speaking misinformation? Is censorship coming down on somebody for giving misinformation? And I don't think so. I think that censorship is speaking the truth and people coming down on you for that. I think that's censorship. So if you're going to complain about being censored, then maybe you should make sure your content is truthful. But beyond all that, beyond what censorship is, I'm not looking at a definition. Maybe we will as we continue the conversation about censorship. But let's talk about what she's saying there. She's saying that Facebook, Google, YouTube, all of these companies, and I understand that YouTube is part of Google, but all of these tech companies are actually just part of the government. And they do everything that the government says. And I think we know that that's not true, because even like Republicans and Democrats both have been attacking Mark Zuckerberg for what he's been doing with gathering information. And, there's just, I don't think that there's any evidence whatsoever that these tech companies are just parts of the government. And if you're going to make those claims, you should support with evidence, with real evidence that's not just some truther on YouTube telling you a thing and you believing it.
I was listening to a guy yesterday doing some research. He's supposed to be a truther and he's supposed to be awake. And he said something about Google would never sell your accounts off to whatever. And I thought, dude, you need to wake up. What kind of truther are you?
All right, so that's hilarious right there. That's like Pastor Cherie just straight up telling you that she gets her information from truthers, from conspiracy theory nut jobs, from people that believe anything. And she believes that if you're not awake, if you're not some conspiracy theorist that believes every little thing against the government that you hear. Like, I don't like Donald Trump. I don't want to defend Donald Trump. But trust me, Donald Trump isn't some mastermind of world domination. Like I said in the last video, he's supposed to be your type's great white hope, your great Christian hope to bring back Christianity, to fight the libtard liberal snowflakes. So I mean, I just don't really think that what you say matches up to any form of reality, and we see why now. We see that you are getting your information from fucking truthers.
Where have you been living? So then I started thinking, you must be a plant. So anyway, let's listen to this short little video about the censorship of YouTube and Google.
Wonderful. Well, the website YouTube is now manipulating search results without telling you, making it more difficult for users to find videos that YouTube believes are, quote, conspiracy theories. They don't explain what qualifies as a conspiracy theory. Most recently, YouTube was concerned over the number of videos theorizing about the motives of the Las Vegas shooter. Motives, by the way, that we still know nothing about. This move is part of a broader effort by the company owned by Google to cut down on access to what it calls fake news and to guide the rest of us by force to what it deems authoritative sources.
So, of course, Pastor Cherie is going to use Fox News. And she's going to speak against Fox News because she understands that, she's got to be consistent with her narrative and she can't be truthful about where she gets some of her information. Fox is part of that global Illuminati conspiracy to warp your mind, and she might actually be right when it comes to Fox, but that's beside the point. This is a very hard issue for me because I do believe in free speech. I believe that people should have the ability to speak their truth, but I think their truth should be the truth. So when we see the levels of disinformation since Donald Trump's elevation, since we've seen what Russia was able to do just merely using misinformation, well, I think we have a new fucking problem here in this country, something that our forefathers could just never foresee, given the fact that they lived so long ago and they could not foresee something like the technology we have now. So if misinformation is such a weapon now, and combating it just doesn't seem to defeat it, well, maybe we should be taking other actions. But then it is a slippery slope. Tucker Carlson's a douchebag, but he makes a good point. What is a conspiracy theory? Are you going to define what that actually is? Is somebody just being wrong? Is that enough to censor them? So I think it is a slippery slope. And once you start taking a freedom from this group, it's very easy to take it from everybody else. So this is a very hard conversation to have. But I also know that I was raised not to tell a lie. Now, I've lied plenty in my life like everybody else has. But you're always raised that way. At least good people are. And if you are blatantly lying, well, I think that there should be some action against that.
Okay. Now, he's Fox News. We know Fox is FOX 666 on their witchcraft math chart, but they also put the truth out to us, right? So about 2 or 3 years ago, when we heard about China taking over the internet, I remember Miss Linda Kirby. She was saying that they would be cracking down on the YouTube channels, on the truthers and stuff, and they sure did. Okay, she called it. They certainly have.
And they have that right to do so, as shitty as it is. YouTube has the right to do whatever the fuck it wants because it's a private company. It can set its own terms of conditions. It's not a part of the government, like Pastor Cherie is trying to say. Now, if they were part of the government and they restricted your speech, that would be a totally different thing. That would be a constitutional issue. But these are private companies that you are deciding to participate in, and you are deciding to follow their terms of service. So this is not a free speech issue. This is an issue about, one, are you speaking the truth? And two, does YouTube go overboard in taking down people for conspiracy theories? Those are the two issues that you should be talking about. One thing that is undeniable is you are definitely a conspiracy theorist. And the fact that you're not seeing truthers anymore, I mean, I think it's a good thing. I honestly do. I think that it's really good that it's hard to get that misinformation. It shouldn't be as easy as it was before. But at the same time, I think it's a bad thing because it should be very easy to combat against this misinformation. It's just very unfortunate that human beings will believe what they want to. And by that, I mean, it just seems like to a lot of human beings, truth doesn't really matter. What matters is perception. What matters is opinion. And I think that that's a fucking issue. And it's an issue that I don't know how we try to solve.
I used to could type in keywords and I would get all sorts of truther videos that would just pop up. Then I could look at them and I could vet through their information and pick and choose what I felt was relevant and what I wanted to share from, right? And it was kind of like a way that they did a leg of my research for me, and it helped me. Well, now when I put in my little keywords and do my searches just like I always used to, I get just about that many truthers that show up. None. What I've noticed is I get all the mainstream media, and like I've said before, at that time, they did this big like YouTube purge. They pulled a lot of channels, deleted a lot of channels. They pulled Miss Linda's channel off.
You know, YouTube is changing its culture, and I do think that it's a bad move. But I don't really think it's a bad move for YouTube to be cracking down on blatant misinformation, blatant mistruth, and the people that provide those mistruths. I think that taking Alex Jones down was a very good thing. I honestly think that taking down Pastor Cherie here, who tries to use the Christian religion to push her conspiracy theory bullshit, I think that would be a very good thing. It would be sad for me because I have so much fun covering that crazy ass, but like, I think it would be a good thing for society, for Christians not to fall into this bullshit. You know, we want Christians finding truth, not more bullshit fiction for them to run away with. You know, so I think it's ultimately a good thing. But again, as I've said, that's always a slippery slope. And it's easy when it happens to other people. Can you stand by that conviction when it happens to yourself? And I think that I have. YouTube has cracked down on me more than they should. And I don't understand why, outside of the fact that I'm edgy, that I tell the blatant truth, that I'm very raw with that sometimes, and that I cover hate mongers and I combat that shit. So I get lumped in with that. But I still stand by that conviction that I would much rather have people getting truth as opposed to misinformation. So I don't know, like, this is a very hard conversation to have. A conversation that I think I'm going to have to have with several people in open rooms and live streams. But I think that I'm quite fine with YouTube and social media platforms really cracking down on misinformation, because I just think that it's something that's not easily defeated, and if you're losing a battle, well, then you need to try new tactics.
So they suppress the truthers. They don't come up on the search engines anymore. You have to dig for it, or you have to be subscribed to the truthers that you like watching, and hope you even get the little reminder or when they send the new message out or don't get unsubscribed, because they play their games. So they're doing all of that. So what I've noticed is they've made it really hard to drill down to the truth. And I would also go out online when I'm searching for articles and things like that. They've made that a lot harder too. It's the same thing. There are a lot less truthers that are showing up in that feed.
And that's a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing that conspiracy theory people are harder to find. It should be easier to find the truth than conspiracy. Now, you shouldn't just dismiss conspiracy because it's conspiracy. If there's legitimate evidence behind your conspiracy, that's one thing. But Too often, they don't use legitimate evidence. There is no legitimate evidence. If there was legitimate evidence, it wouldn't be a fucking conspiracy theory. Be skeptical, but don't be stupid. And that's what this is. And Pastor Cherie, she uses religion as a tool to promote that propaganda, to promote that conspiracy, to suck people down into those rabbit holes, which is why I will cover her ass until she is taken down. But even then, she can go to places like BitChute. You know, there's plenty of places where she can espouse this bullshit and people will suck it up. Misinformation is a major battle that we're going to have to fight in this digital era. And we're going to have to decide as a society what's acceptable and what's not. And right now, in my opinion, it seems like misinformation is winning. So this ultimately has to be a conversation that continues. I want to hear your voices on it. I want to hear your input, what you think. I want to keep myself open and not closed down because I'm on this side of a political aisle or that side of a religious argument. I don't want to determine what my stance is on this yet. And that's going to require conversation and being open. And hopefully, plenty of you would be willing to have that conversation with me. As always, I'm your boy Nakasuchi. This is The Raging Atheist on the Rage. If you like our videos, hit the thumbs up, yo. Subscribe. Share us on your social media. Comment in the comments section below. Hit that bell so you're notified every single time we have a new video or every time we have a new live stream. And as always, I'm going to see you soon.